Hello, and welcome to Stat 2050 at the University of Wyoming. We are online and having a great time. My name's Carson. That's it. Just Carson, not doctor, not professor. Just Carson is fine. Carson Keeter, for trying to be formal. And I'm going to be the instructor for this summer session of Stat 2050, Fundamentals of Statistics. So, you should be all in the right place. If you're not, shoot me an email. And we'll find you the right place. So this video is going to be just kind of an introductory into what the course is going to hold and what the course is all about. It's nothing too crazy. I'm pretty proud of the syllabus. I've used this for a while now. Hopefully it's a little bit more entertaining than, just the black and white kind of stuff that you're used to seeing. But let's just go ahead and get into it. So I hope that you have this up next to you, kind of following along so we can be on the same page, literally and figuratively, I guess. But good idea just to have this up so you can pause the video and just read things if you want, because there's going to be a few things in here that I'm not going to talk about that you can read on your own. But first page of the syllabus, we've got 3 statisticians here. You're probably used to seeing like a quote-unquote dude wall. I'm trying to stay away from that. So instead of having a bunch of pictures of old, dead white people, we're just going to have kind of a modern take at statistics. So this first person here is Cynthia Brewer. She works actually as like a map maker, but she uses statistics a lot, and how she uses color and stuff in making figures and everything that's very unique and kind of groundbreaking. So we'll be doing some stuff similar to what she does. And then we have Hadley Wickham here. More about him in just a little bit. But he is the developer of R Studio, which is what we'll be using in this class just a little bit. And then we have Dr. Akaike down here, who is... he's a statistician that developed the Akaike information criteria that is kind of the gold standard for a few statistical analyses. And then this good-looking guy, that's me. That's Carson. That was when I was on a bird watching trip in South Carolina. All my information is here. Feel free to read that whenever. The big thing is that I have office hours from 12 to 1. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I'll try to keep that up over the semester, having like kind of an open door policy. In that, I'll send you a Zoom link, and you can just join whenever. But if you're not available then, or if I have to switch or something like that, I'm pretty flexible as far as time goes. So really, whenever is fine with me. Not at midnight, and not at like 6 in the morning, but pretty much any time other than then. All right, let's get into it. What are we going to be doing? Well, I'll let you read that for yourself. Take your time if you want. But what I want to draw your attention to is right over here. So, this is something that I like to do because you're the person taking this class. You're the one who's paid for it. So you should be the one that decides how much assignments are worth. So you see here, I give some ranges. You don't have total autonomy here, but I give some ranges. So homework is going to be between 10 and 30%. You'll have 2 exams throughout the semester. Those will be 20 to 40%. Same thing with the final at the end of the semester. And then whatever is here, whatever's left over is what your participation grade will be. How do you participate in an online class? I'll let you know here in a second. So this will all be kind of taking a vote on everything here. I think this is, yeah. We'll all be taking a vote, so that'll be part of your homework for the first week, and you can kind of chat with other people in the class if you have their emails, or you can think about it throughout the week. This is not an urgent matter, but it is something to chew on just for a little bit. So, if you got any questions, send me an email about this, but for now, we will move on. Okay. So, you can read this for yourself too, but what I want to bring to your attention are these 2 things right here that I think are very, very, very important to kind of keep up with and remember. throughout the semester. Since this class is online, that's like one kind of roadblock, or like a road bump. Speed bump is the word I was looking for. Being online does have its sort of difficulties sometimes, but it's also a summer class, so it moves fairly quickly. And so that I don't want you to get buried with a bunch of work. And I think that following these things on this page will help you out immensely. So the first one here, participation is required. A lot of your grade will come from participation, so don't forget. But these two here that I mentioned earlier, come prepared for class. How do you come prepared for class when it's online? Kind of tough, right? But here's what I would recommend. Get you a notebook. Get you some pens, some nice like colored pens or pencils or whatever, and kind of color code your notes however works best for you. And just take written notes. That's the biggest thing. Sometimes it's tempting to type up your notes on like a Google Doc or whatever. That's great. But I think the best place to start for that is writing everything down. Especially this is a math class. I don't like teaching math, and I know a lot of people don't like math. And I totally get that. So we're going to be kind of stepping back a little bit from it. It'll still be here, but I found that if you write down all the equations and write down all your work and everything, you'll be learning a lot better rather than typing it all up and just kind of forgetting it. Okay, so that's all right. And then this one, right here, number 3, if you're not sure, just ask. I've got office hours, I said pretty flexible, so whenever works. And shoot me an email if you got a question. We're going to be all online, which is kind of a pain. And there's no shame in asking a question. Even if you think it's a quote unquote stupid question, which there is no such thing, ask it. And it does no harm to anybody to ask a question in statistics. Okay. So then be digitally respectful. Since we're online, I try to keep videos, or I will try to keep videos between like 10 and 20 minutes. Just so I don't lose you. It's best just to have that one tab open. The YouTube video is all that should be open, and I guess the WYO courses page too. But try to limit your your Google Chrome or your Firefox or Safari or whatever to just having those two things so you're not distracted. I know that's very difficult. I struggle with that, but something that I kind of keep in mind. And then respect, the biggest person here that you need to respect is yourself. So with that, if you need to take a break for a day or however long, do it. Just let me know. I'm pretty flexible in that regard too, because your physical health and your mental health is way more important than pretty much anything that we're going to be learning in this class. So take care of yourself. Wash your hands. Drink water, exercise, go on a hike whenever you can, especially during the summer in Laramie. Gosh, it's just too nice. Okay, there are no textbooks for this class. Thank the Lord. I'm making everything myself. I don't really like textbooks, and I also don't want you to have to buy like a $300 textbook for something you're going to use for 2 months. It's just not fair, and it doesn't make sense. I'm also not making any money writing the textbooks, so I have no incentive to use someone else's. But just for fun, if you want, this is a really nice book, How to Lie with Statistics. It's so short. I think it's honestly like 120 pages long. You can get it at the library. It's really great and very interesting. And actually, it was written in the 50s too, so a lot of it still holds true today. Most of it. And then the other one, gosh, Lord of the Rings. Just so good. If you're looking to escape and the weather's bad or something, that's the book to read, I think. All right, moving on. Now, this is the stuff, all this stuff you're used to seeing. This is all of the kind of university policy. Feel free to read that at your leisure. And then I've got over here, I've got sort of the details as to what the assignments are like for this class. So you'll have a participation assignment. This participation, I also call that the discussion assignment too. So you'll see two different things due on the same day. It's the same. Participation, discussion, even have it right here. Same thing. So these will be like one question or maybe two questions throughout the week that you should just be kind of thinking about. I'll be referencing through the week, but it should involve no math. It won't involve, any kind of number crunching or anything like that, but it will involve kind of the conceptual ideas that we'll be going over throughout the week, and just some kind of stuff to get you thinking as you're watching the lectures. And then, so this will only be, this participation, literally like half a page. You don't have to do, a crazy amount of writing. More or less just kind of your thoughts and opinions on the questions being asked. So, no need to put like a ton of work. It's not like a grad school assignment or whatever. It is just half a page of what you think. And then we've got the homework. So there'll be one homework every week. I hope to have like 6 to 8, probably closer to 6 because you have 2 exams and I don't want you to get kind of buried with work, especially over the summer, because I know that you're probably working over the summer too, or taking other classes, and I don't want you to be totally stressed out about anything, and especially statistics. And then, so this'll be your more kind of math-oriented stuff throughout the week, but nothing too crazy. And then you have exams, a good mix kind of these two things here. So more on that in the future, but for now, you can read this all you like. Okay, so here is something that I think is helpful. I hope is helpful. When I was making it, I thought it was nice. So this is just the kind of general idea of how the class will be structured from like a time perspective. So we've got Sunday night will be when everything is posted. So I'm going to post the lectures, the homework, and the discussion assignment all on Sunday night. And then after that, you're free to do it however fast or however slow you want. Rewatch the videos, redo the homework if you want, do whatever. It's totally up to you. So we won't be holding like class every day because that's just a pain. It'll be all at your own pace. Okay? And then Monday comes along, and that means that the last week's homework assignment is due. Okay, so you have a week to do the homework assignments. They're posted on that Sunday night, and then you have a week to do it, and then it'll be due on that Monday at noon. And then, shortly after that, you'll have your solutions posted for both of those 1 minute later. So those will all be on the YouTube channel. If you're watching this video, you found the YouTube channel, so that's good. So that's going to be kind of our hub for a lot of stuff. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, do whatever. Chip away at the lectures, do the homework, do the discussion stuff, whatever. Do it in the morning, do it at night, do it at noon. That's totally up to you. Okay, and then on Thursday is when the participation stuff will be due. So that's the discussion assignment. That's going to be due at noon as well. And then if it's an exam week, which we'll have an exam, I guess about every 3 to 4 weeks, thereabout. If it's an exam week, that exam will be posted on Thursday. Okay. And you can do it from 9, and you can do it, and it's due at 9 p.m. So a little bit of math there. That's 12 hours. You have pretty much a whole day to do the exam. It will be posted on YO courses. It'll be a Word doc, and then you can print it out, or you can do it on like a separate piece of paper, and then turn it in that night. And then Friday through Sunday, Technically, we don't have class then. That's not when it's posted, but you can do whatever. You can work on the homework assignment. I will ideally, I will design the homeworks to where you can do it in this amount of time. But it's okay if you don't, because you have a whole week to turn in the homework. So you can work on that. But really just take it easy, go on a hike or party or something. Whatever you normally do on the weekend, do. I don't want you to be totally swamped with this class. So here's a sort of a shorter idea of what's going on. The discussion, that's also the participation. You got 4 days to do that. It's posted on Sunday night and then due on Thursday, so 4 days later. About homework, same deal. Posted on Sunday, due the next Monday. It's about a week. And then the exams you'll have half a day to do. And then I also made this Google Calendar, which you can click on that link and sign up for it. I think you can subscribe and put it on your own calendar if you use Google Calendar. That stuff will have when homeworks are due, when the discussion stuff is due, etc., etc. So that's all cool. That's all good. Hopefully this is nice and organized for you. If it's not and you still have questions, shoot me an email and we'll chat. So this, the computers and programming thing, we're not going to be doing a whole ton of computer programming or statistical programming. We'll mostly be looking at the output from R and R Studio. But it's good to have that on your computer so you can try it out yourself. There will be a few things towards the end of the semester that we will need R for, but it's nothing too crazy. Why do we do it in R? R is a programming language that's pretty much used by all of the stat department here. It's not too difficult to kind of pick up on the simple stuff. It does get a little bit harder when you get into the more advanced stuff, but that is Stat 3050, which is the class. I teach that class too, but we're not going to be touching on the advanced stuff in this class as far as programming goes, and as far as concepts go too. We're going to try to keep everything, pretty simple, but pretty applicable too. So more stuff there if you want to read, but we'll just move on. Okay, what happens during office hours? Totally for you. It's not my time to work on anything. I'm going to open up my computer and I'm just going to wait. I'm probably not going to be doing absolutely nothing, but I will be there, totally devoted to whatever you got. So it's all for you. Nothing's off limits. If you want to talk about the class, let's talk about the class. If you want to talk about, something outside of the class, something that's bothering you or whatever, I'm not a licensed therapist, but I can listen. I'm a human being. So if you got anything that's bugging you, just let me know and we can chat. And then, so down here, you'll probably notice that I'm recording this on Sunday, June 7th, 2.5 weeks before the class starts. Just trying to be on top of things. Typically, this class does have tutoring, and typically the CASM is open. So the CASM is the Center for Assistance in Stat and Math. Since we're online and since there is a global pandemic going on, I don't know what their deal is. I have not heard anything. So this is likely to change in some way. Still not totally sure, so I will keep you updated on that. All right. So what will you get from the course? You'll just get, hopefully, an appreciation for stats. Because honestly, statistics is so garbled up and made very complicated, and I don't think it really needs to be. So I try to teach it from a more holistic point of view rather than all math all the time. So hopefully that vibes with you too. If it doesn't, then I can show you the math. I've got that kind of training. But for now, this class, hopefully it will open up your world just to see, how stats is used and misused in media and in the news and wherever. So that sort of side of things. And then also just to get you thinking about, research, if that's something that you're into or wanting to get into, and then scientific studies, all that kind of stuff. And then down here, we've got just the sort of course schedule. So tentative. I don't think it'll change a ton, but I say so tentative just because, I don't know. I really don't know. But we've got all this here, right? And then the final exam, again, that's still TBD. I'm not totally sure when that is at the time of recording this, but that will be posted, and you'll know probably before I do. So just keep that in mind too. But we've got all the topics that we're going to be working with and the dates. Your first exam is on, let's see, 7-9 here. Your second exam's on 8-6, and then same deal. You've got 12 hours to do it, so no rush there. Now, one thing that I did mention, let's see, and I think I've got it written either here or somewhere else. Yeah. Somewhere else. I wish I could accept late work, but since this class is online and fairly quick, 2 months, I can't. I wish I could, but I just won't. So I don't get totally swamped with stuff, and then so your grade, I do intend to grade things like right when you turn them in, so you'll have sort of an updated grade every day. And if you turn in late stuff, the grade that you'll get is not totally the same as what actually is there. So don't turn in anything late. I think that I give you enough time to work on things to where you won't need to turn them in late. But if you have a university excused absence, or if we talked about it earlier for whatever reason, let me know and we can maybe work something out. But for now, try your best to get everything in on time. You got enough time to do it. At least I think you do. So, no late work. Same thing with the exams. The exams, I literally cannot accept late work unless you've got, the university excuse stuff. Oh, boy. Okay. So that's pretty much the course. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, yeah. Me. So if you have any questions, come back up here for a second. Let me know, and we'll set something up. But that should all be good. Everything should all be there. I think you're probably wondering. I reused this syllabus from last semester. I taught a different class, and I had to TA. That's where this. That's the TA's name from last semester, and I forgot to take it out. So my bad. But anyway, about me. Who doesn't like talking about themselves? I am from Charleston. Well, I'm actually from Asheville, North Carolina. That's where I was born and kind of grew up a little bit there. But I did most of my childhood and then I guess some adult life in Charleston, South Carolina. I went to the College of Charleston, technically the University of Charleston, South Carolina, whatever. It's the oldest municipal university in the nation. Pretty cool. Founded in 1770. You see that right here. So cool. Just a great place, too. I have my undergraduate degree in exercise physiology, human physiology, with sort of a minor, more of a concentration in research design. So a lot of statistics there. And then I'm getting a master's now in statistics from the University of Wyoming. I worked on, and still do work on, some pretty cool research projects that involve endurance athletes, and then I also worked with NASA, if you recall, in 2016, 17? Gosh, I can't remember. There was a solar eclipse. I worked on that project. We were doing some stuff in recording it, so we needed, some stats to get all the stuff working, as far as the cameras and the balloons, the weather balloons, getting up to, I guess, the upper atmosphere to take a picture of the thing. But I also worked with some astronauts, pretty cool, and using lasers to reduce muscle atrophy. So making sure that your muscles don't get tiny when you're in zero gravity. Pretty cool. When I'm not doing that, I am an avid bird watcher. That's me, right there looking at some, who knows what, probably some ducks or something. That's out at Lake Hutton, just outside of town. Super cool, love it. Just a nice hobby. Another hobby that I do that is my favorite thing ever. I love racing bikes. So that's me after a race. That's actually after a duathlon, an off-road duathlon, which was a 5-mile run, a 20-mile bike, and then another 5-mile run. Absolutely horrible, but I did fairly well in that one. That was in Charleston, South Carolina. And then when I'm not doing any of this, I'm also playing guitar in a couple of bands around town. Mostly bluegrass, but I have, believe it or not, I have training in Latin American jazz and Brazilian music. I have family that lives in Brazil. So just a little bit of everything that I try to do. And then when I'm not doing any of this, I'm doing stats and teaching here. So that's pretty much that about me, about the class, about how everything is going to work. So if you've got any questions, just let me know. We can set up a Zoom meeting or just email is fine, whatever. And then that is pretty much that. So I will see you next time.